Again, so this expression has radical sign, square root. So we're given x times y equals 3. And we want to find the sum of those two terms. Looks like complicated, right? But let's observe. So we have x outside. If we push this x inside, we get x squared, right? So x squared simplified with x. And also same thing for this y outside, we push y inside, we get y squared. Y squared simplified with y, we get xy. So it's not as, complicated as it looks. So let's do that. We get square root of y divided by x. Now push this x inside, so that becomes x squared. Plus the square root of x divided by y. Push this y inside the square root, becomes y squared. Now we can simplify. When the numerator and the denominator has common factors, so simplify. X squared divided by x, it just becomes x. So this term becomes square root of xy. Same thing here. Y squared divided by y, it just becomes y. Also we have square root of xy. So then if we add those two, we get 2 square root of xy. Square root of xy we know is 3. So that's 2 radical 3. Okay, we may do this way, and but one problem. How do we know we can push this? How do we know we have positive value, right? By doing so, we have ignored something. What about x and y be negative? Because positive times positive, if both positive, we get a positive number. But if both negative, we also get a positive number. So if this negative, the quotient is negative. And if this negative, we push inside, somehow we ignored negative values. So what should we do? So let's try another way. So this way only gives us one solution. But we're thinking x and y can be negative, right? Think about if x and y are negative. So this will be positive term, but this will be negative term. This will be positive term, this will be negative term. So negative plus negative is negative. So we're missing a solution. So what's the right way of doing this? Let's square. Let's make this term square. Let's square this term. Right, let's see what happens. If we make this term square, we have x squared times square root cancel each other times y over x. Then plus, because this is plus, right? Perfect square, 2 times x square root of y over x times y square root of x over y, then plus this term square. That's y squared times x over y. Well, let's simplify a little bit. So x squared, x simplified. And we see this one, x times y. Then we have y over x times x over y inside the square root. They should be cancelled. Well, let's write this. So So y plus 2xy square root of y over x times x over y. Plus, same thing for those two, simplify to be xy. Right. Now we see this, yx divided by xy, so this becomes 1. So what do we have? We have xy, 2xy, 3xy, plus xy. So in total, we have 4xy. And then we know xy is 3. So 4 times 3, which is 12. So when we square this, we get a 12. That means this one without a square, we get a positive, negative square root of 12. Square root 12 can be simplified, right? 12 is 4 times 3. Square root of 4 is 2. So this is plus minus 2 radical 3. You see the difference between this one and the previous one? The previous one, we only get positive 2 radical 3. But now we get plus minus 2 radical 3. So I have two solutions, okay? So one for xy to be positive, one for xy to be negative. So solutions, two solutions, positive, negative, 2 radical 3. So we have to be careful with solving equations. A lot of times it's very easy to lose solutions.